Today's practice is going to be about lengthening the spine and then moving it in all of its directions. So the spine moves in a forward bend. This is called flexion. Backwards, this is known as extension. It can go to the side. This is called lateral flexion, both sides. It can rotate. And the most important thing your spine can do, and the thing that needs to precede all other movements, is called axial extension. Now that's like taking a shower rod and starting to extend it into its full capacity. So the sitting bones go downwards and the top of the head goes upwards. And so we can utilize axial extension to find deeper degrees of movement in all the other sides, but we can also use those movements to help find axial extension. So the two feed each other, and we use both of them so that we can feel nice and open, nice and long. The more we optimize the spine, the more we optimize the nervous system. Take your hands onto your thighs, and if you're in the cross-legged seat, then onto the fronts of the shins of the knees. Inhale, use your hands, pull back, lift your chest. Tilt your chin down, pull your skull back, then lift the chin, maybe stretch and open your throat. Exhale, scoop your tailbone under, let your rib cage round, let your shoulders round forward, chin to chest. Inhale, moving from the pelvis, pull your hips back, pull the tailbone back. Pull with your hands, lift your chest, then allow that to go all the way into the throat. Exhale, scoop the tailbone under, leading from the pelvis, let the spine round. Push down and forward with your hands, round your chin into your chest. Inhale, pull back, hips go back, chest lifts up, open the throat. Exhale, scoop the tail, round the ribs, round the shoulders, round the head and neck. Inhale, pull back with the hands. Exhale, round. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, once you've got this action, keep going a few more rounds. Once you've got this action, you can utilize the hands for added support. By utilizing your palms, you actually upregulate your nervous system. There's a lot of intelligence here in the palms, so when we invite them into the practice, it actually helps your motor function. And you can utilize the hands here or start to float the hands, actually add some movement in the arms. So if when you make your bed, and you've got these wrinkles because you've been sleeping in it, and so you've been kind of tossing and turning, or there's just some wrinkles and you want to really flatten it out, a lot of times you'll take the side of the blanket and then lift it up and kind of go like that, right? And you'll see that wave of energy. You're watching waves of energy go through the medium of the cloth blanket. And so we do the exact same thing. We want to move the waves of energy through the spine. And you imagine the spine is either like an ocean wave or it's like your blanket on your bed. And so as you move the spine, start to include the arms. Maybe the hands turn forward. That allows you to open the chest. Maybe the palms turn back. And so you really explore. Don't assume anything is right or wrong. Get away from the ideas of right and wrong in the practice and just offer up everything into exploration of space. Sometimes a little bit of change, something you might get stuck on, will really open up the doors of your practice. So add those movements in the arms, maybe start to bend and straighten the arms, maybe even open and close the hands, make fists. Just visualize in your mind, try closing your eyes, see yourself like an ocean wave. See yourself like a blanket, just starting to unfold, taking the crinkles away. Scan your spine, notice where are the places that are free moving and where are the places that get really stuck. Okay, let's come back to stillness, and then we'll go side to side. So from left to right first, take your hands to the outsides and just start to bend the elbows. Take one arm, reach up. Take the other arm, reach up. And so first you just go side to side. Okay, and you use the arms. It's like you're taking the hand and giving it a little bit of momentum to swing, just to feel how if you extend the arm, the energy and the weight of the arm, the inertia of the arm is going to pull you up and it's going to help to lengthen the spine. Okay, so we go side to side. And then instead of getting the hands all the way to the mat, start to lessen the full range of the motion and just add in those tiny little reverberations. Now the spine's starting to wiggle up. So I call these movements the snake and the caterpillar, right? So the snake moves like an S this way, and then the caterpillar moves like this, like the ocean wave. And so we're going to utilize both of those actions because that's for the movements. That's lateral flexion both sides, and that's flexion and extension in the spine. So we're already almost there. All we have to do is figure out how to find our twists, and we'll kind of play with that too. And all of these movements, you keep thinking, as you do this wave, it's like the blanket, right? You're trying to get that edge of the blanket, the one you're not holding, to get as far away from your hands as possible. And so moving the spine, you keep thinking, can the head get farther away from the pelvis? And that's that axial extension. And the more you find the movements with this intention of lengthening the spine, and the more you find the length in the spine, the more it's going to feed back to the movement. So a little side to side. And at first you want to stabilize the shoulders from moving, just to focus on the spine. But then you actually can add them in. You can actually lift the shoulders. So if nothing else, that by the end of this class, you'll have a few more dance moves for all your at-home dance parties, okay? Side to side, side to side. All right, couple twists. Take the hands to the prayer, and then keeping the thumbs right there at the center sternum. Find the length of the spine. We're just gonna rotate to the right, rotate to the left, rotate to the right, rotate to the left. The reason we keep the hands at the heart is if you take the arms wide, there's gonna be this tendency to really use that arm and then stretch into the shoulder and into the neck. That can be a little bit too far. So I wanna focus first on the spine. And as you get into that rotation of the spine, goalpost out the arms. Hold it to your right. Lift and lengthen the spine. Do a couple of these little caterpillars, a couple of the snakes, and then twist a little bit deeper. Again, caterpillar, snake, twist. Caterpillar, snake, twist. Other side, take a breath in. Exhale, turn your body to the left. And so we don't assume that this is the end, right? This is as far as we got with the spine exactly as it is. But maybe the spine had a little bit of wrinkling in it. And so to unwrinkle, you do snake, side to side, caterpillar, little wave. And then if you got some length, if that felt pretty good, you twist. So snake, side to side, caterpillar, like the wave, and then twist. One more. Snake, caterpillar, and twist. Breathe in and exhale, slowly release. Shake out your hands. Now, open and close your hands. Open and close your hands. Take the arms nice and high. Start to pulse the shoulders up and down. We'll do a little bit of work on our palms today. So I hope this practice really gets you prepped to have some fun throughout the day. A lot of times, if we just kind of loosen up the bones and joints, if we can loosen up the shoulders, the spine, and the hips, we just feel our energy flows freely. It makes us a lot easier to enjoy. You know, if we're stuck, if we are kind of compressed in our joints, if we're congested, if we're holding on to stress, a lot of times it's really tough to be around ourselves, right? Let alone have company. So the more you can loosen up, the freer you get, the more adaptive you'll be with anybody that you come in contact with. Come up into your tabletop pose. Same idea in cat-cow. Let's add the movement from the pelvis first. Tailbone swings back. As the tailbone moves back, lift your chest. And then exhale, scoop the tailbone under. Roll that into your head and neck. Inhale, thigh bones pull back. Lift the chest. Exhale, tailbone under. Round your back. Inhale. Exhale. Then start to exaggerate. Really important to flush your palms flat to the mat, but then explore. Move your shoulders around. Stay with the linear caterpillar movement first, just to see if you roll the shoulders as you do cat-cow. Can you articulate the spine? Then add the snake. Sway the hips side to side. Sway the shoulders side to side. And don't be deceived. It might not look like you're doing a lot of movement, but the movements you're taking, you have so many muscles that move the spine. And so when we articulate movement in the spine, it's going to burn an insane amount of calories and a lot of heat. You're probably going to start feeling the body get super hot. Let's come back in 3, 2, 1. Inhale, tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs, sway out your hips. Bend those knees, take the thigh bones, plug them up into your pelvis, lift the tailbone high. Can you do a little bit of caterpillar action here? If you do this caterpillar action, you might notice that maybe you're here in your down dog and your shoulders are taking on a lot of stress. And so if you drop the head, if you move the head and neck in a yes pattern and a no pattern, if you do that little bit of wiggling, you'll find a lot more freedom of movement. Take a deep breath in, lean forward, high plank. You can lower your knees down first or lower straight all the way down to the mat. Hands underneath shoulders, inhale, low cobra pose. Start here, do a little bit of the caterpillar, right? So not too much weight on the hands, just start to undulate the spine, finding those spinal waves. Then straighten your arms maybe halfway. So a lot of times we just go right to whatever we think the edge is, and then we stop there because we don't feel good or it hurts or we're very uncomfortable. Instead, oscillate deeper into the pose, oscillate out of the pose. That movement will create contrast in the experience, and then that contrast will let you know maybe you went too far. Maybe you can go farther. What do you feel? Exhale, release. Inhale, rise, tabletop pose. Knees go wide, toes together. Exhale, child's pose. Sit back on your heels. Take your fingertips into the mat, lift up your palms. Crawl the fingers forward, press your buttocks into your heels. Start to walk your hands over to the left. Press down into your fingers, pull lightly back. Take a breath in. Empty the breath out. Walk over to the right. Left arm reaches forward. Push the fingertips down, pull lightly back. Press your left butt into your left heel. Full body inhale. Empty the breath. Inhale, rise, all fours, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. So we're actually going to move from this child's pose forward as if you're going into cat, and then roll over into your upward facing dog or cobra. Then exhale, come up off the hips, sit back into child's pose. And so now we're starting to really exaggerate those spinal waves. We're moving the body a little bit more. Take it nice and slow at first, slow is smooth, and then smooth can be fast. But make it more about the experience and the feeling of the breath entering the body than it is about getting into any certain depth of shape. Inhale, start to roll through cat, all the way into your cobra or up dog. Exhale, chin to chest, sit back into child's. Inhale, roll your body into up dog. Exhale, chin to chest, sit back. One more. Inhale, roll into up dog. Exhale, chin to chest, sit back. Inhale, rise, all fours. Exhale, high plank pose. Press down into your palms. Bend your knees, lift your hips. And now we take the full roll all the way from down dog into up dog. To do this, think of the wave. Send the energy from the heels, send it through the knees, from the knees up into the pelvis. From the pelvis, the upper back starts to roll. Roll over your toes. Inhale, up dog, chin to chest. Bend your knees, roll the energy back into your heels. From the heels to the hips, from the hips to the shoulders, from the shoulders to the heart, up dog. Chin to chest, roll the body back into down dog. Roll the body forward last time. Up dog, chin to chest, lift the energy back into your heels, down dog. Inhale. Exhale, walk your feet behind your wrists. Halfway lift, full breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, bend your knees. So from here, remember, if you use the hands, it upregulates the nervous system, so it helps your motor function. It helps you be a little bit more connected. You're welcome to use the hands. Push them into the shins. Energetically pull upwards. Those back muscles will turn on. Then move the body a little bit like a caterpillar. So those actions of cat-cow will help. We've got the cat-cow, caterpillar, snake movements today, okay? Thigh bones pull back, tailbone goes back. You start to round the spine, arch the spine, and then find that happy middle. Where's the place where you feel length in the low back, you feel length in the neck, and you feel space for the breath to enter the chest? Full body inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Slowly bring it all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to prayer, heart center. Close your eyes. Take a moment, set your intention. The more you can iron out the spine, the more you can kind of roll out the spine and let that energy flow, the more you can send waves of energy through your physical body, the more whatever's in your heart and mind will begin to emanate freely through you. And so the practice is not just to open the physical body. That would actually be kind of irresponsible. Because if you're feeling really heavy in your emotions and you open the body, sometimes we can lash out. Sometimes that physical energy begins to be colored by what's going on in the mind. So yoga is nourishment for the roots of our existence. We cleanse not just the physical impurities, but the mental, emotional ones. With that in mind, what energy, what emotion would you like to call into your practice? Remember that it's calling in, not calling out. It's called invocation. It means in the mind's eye, you vocalize. In the silence of the mind, have a single word that best describes the energy you want to feel. And as often as you can, repeat it. It's really helpful if you repeat it with every inhalation and with every exhalation, but it's up to you. Okay? When your mind feels distracted or it trickles into the future or the past, use your breath, use your body, and use your mantra to call yourself back into the present time experience. Full body breath in. The light of your mantra in your mind, empty the breath out. Take your arms down by your sides. Turn your palms face forward. Now full body waves, bend the knees, pull your hips back, lift your chest, lean your chest forward, lift the chin forward, then start to pull the hips forward. Roll that all the way up into the head, into the neck. And so a few times if you need, you start bend the knees, hips back, heart forward, lift the chin, then move the head back, let that roll all the way to the hips, all the way to the legs. Ideally though, don't think too much about it. Close your eyes, go into the feeling. Picture waves on the ocean. Picture the caterpillar. Picture making your bed and just giving the blanket a really good lift and lower, right? And just see the blanket kind of unwind. And imagine that energy is just starting to move through the spine. So all energy moves in waves. There are no straight lines in the universe, only the appearance of straight lines. But when we magnify, we see everything waving, everything waving. Okay. Come back to center. Let's add the sideways movement. Take your arms, reach up. Palms together, interlace your fingers, go flip grip. Move your head left and right. Move your head around. Then inhale, reach up and over to the right. Push down into the right heel. Take a breath, lift the right rib over the right side waist. Go for length. Remember, axial extension, the head lifts away from the pelvis because the more length you get on the spine, the deeper your sideways bend will get without feeling compressed here on the right side. Come back up through center. Inhale up and over to the left. We go with the inhalation because the inhalation allows us to notice, can we breathe in the pose? A lot of times we get so far, we're like, okay, I'm in it, but then the face is stressed and then the breath is really harsh. And so your breath is your barometer, it's your thermometer, it's also your thermostat, and this is the beauty of it. It tells you as a barometer how much pressure you're putting on your body, as a thermometer how much heat you're putting in, and as a thermostat, the more you energize the breath, the more you can control your heat. Come back up through center. Hands to prayer, arms down. Again, inhale, reach up. This time, take the right hand, push it on the back of the left hand, lift the top of the head. Think of having your hands hold up the ceiling. As you lengthen, head to the backs of the hands, root down into your feet. Inhale, up and over to the right. Exhale, back to center, switch the hands. Inhale, up and over to the left. Exhale, back to center. Hook your thumbs up above your head. Energetically pull the thumbs apart. Brace your core muscles. Try to slide your fingertips up against the ceiling and then back. Take your back bend, maximize the length of the spine, add a little bit of snake, add a little bit of caterpillar so that you're not pushed, you're not compressed, you've got that wiggle room. Inhale up, exhale, hands to prayer, forward fold, tilt your hips. Inhale, halfway lift, find your length, a little bit of caterpillar, a little bit of snake. Exhale, high plank pose. Inhale, squeeze your hands towards your navel. Exhale, lower halfway down. Get on the tops of the feet. Inhale, upward facing dog. Now, can you roll like a wave, chin to chest? Roll the upper body into the hips, into down dog. Let's do just the ocean wave, chin to chest. Roll your upper back forward, roll over your toes, up dog. Chin to chest, roll the energy back to your hips and heels, down dog. Breath to movement, listen for the light changes. Inhale, bend both knees, lift the hips. Exhale, step or lightly hop, front of your mat. Half lift, full breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, right hand on the back of the left hand, push. Side bend right, inhale. Exhale, center, switch the hands. Side bend left, inhale. Exhale, center, hook your thumbs, brace your core. Inhale, go back. Exhale, fold forward. Half lift, full breath. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale, up dog. Chin to chest, roll it back to down dog. One ocean wave. Inhale, roll into up dog. Exhale, roll into down dog. Inhale, knees bend. Exhale, travel front mat. Half lift, full breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, right palm pushes on the left hand. Core tight, side bend right. Exhale, center, switch hands. Inhale, side bend left. Exhale, center, hook the thumbs. Brace your core, inhale, back bend. Exhale, forward bend. Half lift, full in. Exhale, downward facing dog. We skip the chaturanga, then chin to chest. Inhale, roll into upward facing dog. Be like water, chin to chest, roll into downward facing dog. Inhale, bend both knees. Exhale, travel, front of the mat. Half lift, full breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, both knees bent. Exhale, hands to prayer. Lift or lower the chin. Find those little caterpillar movements. Find the snake movements. Get comfy. Breath in. Exhale, prayer twist to the right. Now, as you take your prayer twist, did you accidentally round your buttocks and your back? So that's where the caterpillar really comes in handy, okay? Start to move the spine. Now, it's not those big movements. Those were exploration in the beginning. Tiny, tiny wiggles now. Smaller and smaller actions will allow you to notice if the spine is elongated or if there's a little bit of shortness on either side. Add the snake because the tendency is to compress right rib to right hip. So you lean a little left, you lean a little right. And if you find some space, you'll find some depth in the twist. A good twist is never forced, but instead finessed. Find the length of the spine from the top of the head through the neck and hips, and the twist is yours. Inhale, mountain pose, take it up. Left hand pushes on the right hand, exhale. Side bend to the left. We bring length out of that twist. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, chair pose, bend both knees, sit back. Exhale, hands to prayer, heart center. Inhale, lean forward, pull the thigh bones back, do a little bit of caterpillar, a little bit of snake, and then exhale, twist to the left. As you work these rotations in the spine, Mind wants to fixate. It just wants to go elbow to thigh, let me just get there and then try to fix anything that happened. Instead, can you find those little bit of movements side to side? The little bit of movements arching around. And if you can find those tiny movements, you'll start to notice where you compressed, where can you access more length. That length will give you the depth of the twist. Inhale, mountain pose, take it up. Right hand on the back of the left hand, push, brace your core. Side bend to the right, fully in. Exhale, center, hands to prayer. Inhale, mountain pose. Imagine grabbing a pull-up bar, separate the feet hip distance. Exhale, pull. Pull your arms down, feel your shoulders move towards your tailbone. Those are your back muscles, engage them. Now brace the front muscles, front ribs, hip points to navel. Bend your knees. Inhale, go into your back bend at like 60%. Why? So you can start to do that little caterpillar. If you go too far too fast, the tendency is to kink the neck or the lower back. So the little caterpillar wave is just going to allow you to open and move the spine. Remember, we use the wave to find the length. We use the length to find the depth. Take a breath in. Exhale, rise, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, high to low plank or downward facing dog. Inhale, roll into up dog. And we all meet. Exhale, roll into down dog. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Bend your knee, circle open your thigh. Kick back, breathe in. Exhale, pull through, knee to chest. One little caterpillar here. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, round your back, push the mat away, and step through low lunge. Inhale, warrior two. Spin the back heel down, rise all the way to standing. As you find your standing pose, go a little bit side to side. Sometimes when you're in warrior two, you don't notice the hips are tilted, which means your spine's a little bit forward. You'd feel that little bit of compression, except it becomes normal. So move the hips a little side to side. Move the spine side to side. We do that little bit of wiggle, caterpillar, snake, and then finding the length of the spine, lift through the top of the head. Breathe in. Exhale, extended side angle. Right forearm on top of the right thigh. Push the forearm down, plug the thigh bone back. Wrap that right hip under, take the right hand, reach outside the right foot. Reach your left arm forward over your left ear. Turn your thumb up and your pinky down. So now we work the spirals. Turn your belly, ribs, and chest away from the mat. Wrap the armpit towards the mat. Now extend from pinky finger to left heel. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten your right knee. Level your hips, left hand pushes on the back of the right hand. Elevate the spine. Exhale, bend your right knee, reverse warrior. So you use the downward movement of the pelvis to rebound an upward lift into the spine. Full breath in. Exhale, sweep on down to the mat. Right arm reaches out in line with the right shoulder. Inhale, twist. Turn your belly, turn your ribs, turn your chest. Do that little bit of caterpillar, a little bit of snake. Where can you find length on the sides of the waist? Breath in. Exhale, high to low plank or downward facing dog. Inhale, roll into upward facing dog. Exhale, roll into downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high, bend the knee, open your hip, circle the thigh. Kick back, breathe in. Exhale, knee to chest. Just once, a little bit of cow, inhale. A little bit of cat, exhale, lift. Step through, low lunge. Back heel pins flush to the mat. Inhale, warrior two, rise. So you get into your warrior two, you'll start to notice it's the spine forward. This is exaggeration, but it might still be there in your body. A lot of times you might be reaching a little farther into the future, or you might be hanging back into the past. And so we use these movements, we use the caterpillar just to recalibrate. We're trying to break the normalization of the body's movements. We're trying to break the habits and fixations. Sometimes you're just an inch, a millimeter not much away from a place that feels wonderful. Breathe in. Exhale, extended side angle, left forearm on top of the left thigh, push the forearm down. Press the thigh bone up, let the pelvis gyrate. Take the left hand, reach it outside the left foot. Take your right arm, reach forward over your right ear. Now the spirals. The pelvis turns a little down, the belly, ribs, and chest turn a little bit up, and then the right pinky finger goes down and the right thumb up. These spirals, they counter-rotate, allow us to wring out the body, push from your right heel, reach through your right pinky finger. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten your left knee. Take the arms up. Is that right hip high? It's going to cause you to pinch the right side waist. So can you wiggle the hips? Right hand pushes on the back of the left hand. You lift up and back, breathe in. And then exhale, bend the knee. Use the downward motion of the hips to rebound the upward lift of the spine. That should feel so good. Take a breath, reach back. Exhale, sweep your hands on down to the mat. Inhale, twist. Left arm reaches out, turn. So if the chest doesn't fully face the wall, then the tendency will be to reach the left arm too far out. Can you instead not worry where the left fingers reach towards, but just keep the arm happy in line with the shoulder and chest. Push down with the right hand, turn the belly, turn the ribs, turn the chest, and then do a couple little caterpillar movements or snake movements. Breath in. Exhale, high to low plank or downward facing dog. Roll like a wave. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Let's add on. Inhale, right leg high, bend the knee open. Exhale, step through low lunge. This time, crescent pose, a little more balancing in our challenge today. Arms go up. Balance the pressure on the back ball mound between big and pinky toe. Press down into your right heel. Squeeze the legs towards each other. Inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer. We lean forward, extend through your back leg. Now, maybe your back is rounding, maybe it's not. No assumptions either way. Do a little bit of caterpillar, a little bit of snake, then refine it. Try to find that line, top of the head to the back left heel. Right hand to the right thigh, left elbow to the outside of the leg, if it feels accessible, without force. Hands to the prayer, turn. When you get into the twist, are you dumping the spine? Are you lifting the spine? How will you know? Well, a little bit of caterpillar, a little bit of snake. Breathe in. Exhale, hover the elbow or release the hands down to the mat. Put some weight into that front foot, spin the back foot down. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, bend the knee, reverse warrior. Take a breath in, use the downward force to rebound the hips, or to rebound the spine's lift. Exhale, extended side angle. Right palm down, inhale, reach the left fingers forward. Exhale, high to low plank or downward facing dog. Roll into up dog, breathe in. Roll into down dog, breathe out. Inhale, float your left leg high. Bend the knee if you need. Exhale, step through low lunge. Crescent pose. Inhale, rise. Take a moment. Notice if you're locked in the back knee, then the low back's going to compress. So you bend that knee, then do your little caterpillar. You're just unruffling the spine. Should feel so nice. Pull up, breathe in. Exhale, hands to prayer. Lean forward. Same thing, iron out. Little caterpillar, little snake. Move the head, move the neck, move the chest. Then left hand to the left thigh, push, right elbow to the outside of the left leg. Press evenly through your back leg, from the big toe to the pinky toe, find the ground. Hands to the prayer, you drive from the right arm into the left thigh, turn your belly, turn your ribs, turn your chest. Breathe in. Exhale, hover the elbow or hands to the mat. Lean the weight into the left foot. Inhale, reverse triangle, pin the back heel down, rise. Exhale, bend your left knee, reverse warrior. We use the downward movement. Inhale to lift the spine back. Exhale, extended side angle. Right arm goes forward. Inhale, extend from pinky to right heel. Exhale, high to low plank or straight to down dog. Roll like a wave. Inhale, up dog or skip. All good. Exhale, roll back to down dog. One more time, full breath to movement. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step. Inhale, rise. Trust the feeling now. Exhale, hands to prayer, twist. Inhale, reverse triangle, straight legs. Exhale, reverse warrior, bent the front knee. Use the down force. Inhale to lift. Exhale, extended side angle. Accentuate the line. Inhale from pinky finger to left heel. Exhale, high to low plank or down dog. Roll into up dog. Roll into down dog. Left leg up, full breath. Exhale between the thumbs. Crescent rise. Hands to prayer, twist to the left. Reverse triangle, straight legs. Bend the front knee, reverse warrior. As the hips descend, lift the spine. Exhale, extended side angle. Extend the line from pinky to right heel, breathe in. Exhale, high to low plank or downward facing dog. Roll your body into up dog, articulate the spine. Roll your body back into downward facing dog. Full breath in. Empty out. Inhale, bend both knees. Exhale, travel all the way down to a seat. Sukhasana, easy seat with the right shin forward, or Ardha Matsyendrasana, left knee centers. Very important that that right sitting bone hits the ground. So if your hips are very tight, if this is how you're sitting, then change it, because this is going to make the pelvis turn, and you'll start off with the right rib and right side waist already in compression. So the shape of the legs can help you stretch the hip, but most importantly today, we're working the length of the spine, so that right sitting bone's got to go to ground. Take a deep breath in, take your hands. If you're in Sukhasana, use the hands on the mat. If you're in half Lord of the Fish, you take the hands on the front of the right thigh. Pull with your biceps, lean with your spine. Push with your leg. Once you push with the leg, you're going to feel that right hip turn on. Center and press your right sitting bone into the mat. Breathe in. Exhale, twist to the right. Now, as you take the twist, you start thinking, if you fixate on just rotation, you might not notice the body starting to round, the shoulders, head, neck, and spine are starting to round. So you explore, add the caterpillar, add the snake, and little wiggles, side to side, up and down, you twist. Side to side, up and down, you twist. Side to side, up and down, you twist. And then ultimately, left elbow to the outside of the right thigh, right hand on the mat. Move the head, move the neck. Even little caterpillar, little movement with the head and neck. You're looking for that straight line, top of the head to the base of the pelvis. That's what gives you your depth. There's no need to force. If you can't breathe, then your breath is telling you too much. Stay here. Now, here's the kicker. This is where you do about 100 sit-ups all in one action. Can you keep the depth of your rotation and no longer use the elbows leverage? Hands to the prayer, hold the depth of the twist, slowly lift the left elbow. You'll feel the action from the arm and back is gone, and now it's all obliques. Once these obliques are firing, ask them to turn a little bit deeper. They'll do it. Breathe in. Exhale, twist. Unwind. Let's extend the legs straight out in front, tap out the backs of the knees. Left leg goes out to the side, right foot comes in up against the inner left thigh. This time we turn the chest towards the right knee. Bend the left knee, push the heel down, lightly drag back. Now we want the left buttock to be firm on the mat so that we can lift the left rib up over the left sideways. Take the arms high. Left hand pushes on the back of the right hand. Turn your belly, turn your ribs, turn your chest. Inhale, go up and over to the side. As you take to the side bend, no rush. If immediately you're stopped because you feel a pinch on the side, this is where the little wiggles really help. Lift the right rib up. Lift the left rib away from the left hip. Little bit of snake pattern. Don't be afraid to come out a little bit of the pose so that the spine feels longer and more centered, and that's ultimately going to lead you much deeper. So maybe you straighten the left knee, detach from having to touch your foot, and instead project length. The buttocks heavy and the spine nice and long. Reach all the way up through seated. Turn your chest towards your left leg. Right thumb goes down. Grab the pinky blade of your left foot. Bend your left knee, lift your chest. Turn the belly ribs to the left. Exhale, bow. Forehead outside the left thigh and shoulders back. Breathe full in. Empty out. Rise, Parigasana, gates pose. Right hand behind the lower back. Push through the right palm, up onto the right shin, skin of the left foot. Take the top arm, big circles. Full breath in. Exhale, sit. So your right knee is already set up. You just cross the left ankle over the top of the right thigh. That's option one. Option two, Sukhasana. Which option do you take? Instead of thinking of it as a progression, just figure out which one allows the left buttock to be firm into the mat. Sit up nice and tall. Okay, that's so important. We accommodate the sit bones down because that's going to give us the length of the spine. And the length of the spine is going to give the depth of the rotation. If you're in Ardha Matsyendrasana, hands hold the front of the leg. You pull with your biceps and push. If you're in Sukhasana, you can use forearm to the outside of the thigh and left hand on the mat. Now, pull with your arms, but also lean back. Push your leg into your hands. You're going to feel this left glute turn on. Firm the left sit bone down. Wiggle out a couple times. Feel that length on the spine. And then exhale, turn from above the waist. You think of turning the right navel towards the left navel. The right ribs towards the left ribs. Keep the left sitting bone down. Notice if you add that little side to side, that little bit of cat-cow, that little bit of caterpillar snake, can you recalibrate the length of the spine? And does that give you a little more depth? Right elbow to the outside of the left thigh, or right hand if you're in Sukhasana, hands to the prayer you twist. Even the head and neck, if that head dumps forward or tilts back or leans to one of the shoulders, it's going to take away a little bit from your possibility, from your potential. Now, hold the depth of the rotation. Can you use the arms less and the core more? Slowly, slowly, start to hover the right elbow and feel your back muscle shuts down a little, your obliques turn way up. Once the obliques are on, once you can feel, all right, these are the muscles that help me twist, you can ask them to twist a little harder. Breathe. Fully in. Exhale, twist. Slowly unwind back to center. Right leg goes out. Left foot comes up against the inner right thigh. It's the same rotation. Turn your belly, ribs, and chest to the left. Bend your right knee. But now it's important that the right buttock is firm into the mat, or else the lift of the hip will cause the right rib to possibly compress into the right side waist. And we want that down so we can get the rib to lift. Take the arms up. Right hand pushes on the back of the left hand. Turn your belly, turn your ribs to the left. Now reach up and over to the right. Instead of going one and done and wait, instead you lift a little. You dial back, and then you lift the spine and then maybe go deeper. And so that little bit of snake movement, that little bit of squirming, that little bit of wiggling is just enough to help you recenter the spine. You have the option to straighten the back of the right knee. Detach from the need to touch the foot. Instead, think of lifting the head and the hands past the foot. Make this about breathing into the left side of the waist. Inhale, slowly rise. Let's twist it out, bend the right knee. It's a counter twist. Now left thumb turns down, grab for the pinky blade of the right foot. Right hip goes to ground, turn the belly, ribs and chest, and lift the spine up and over the right thigh. Let your head relax, move the shoulders back, and breathe super deep. Full. Empty. Full. Empty. Inhale, slowly rise. Take the left hand behind your lower back on the mat, up onto the left shin, up onto the skin of the right foot. Inhale, reach up, Parigasana. Take that right arm and big circles. Use the arm to open the rib cage, shoulders, and chest. Use that to breathe. And have a seat. Legs go out in front of you. Bend both knees. Walk your thighs back. Lift your chest. Full breath in, pull up. Exhale, tilt your pelvis. Walk your thighs back. Move the spine like a snake. Up and down, undulate. Or like a caterpillar. So up and down, side to side. Up and down, side to side. Use those movements to keep thinking, how far can the head get away from the hips? A lot of times we just go to the hands, but grabbing for the feet can do one of two things. One, it can be a point of frustration that you can't grab the feet and you're like, man, I'll never get there, but really it's because your back is rounding. Or two, you grab the feet and you're like, all right, I'm there, but you don't go anywhere else. And so when you let go what you touch with the hands and you think instead of what the hands can reach, what the spine can do, because ultimately that was the intention of the pose, to lift and lengthen the spine, all of a sudden you might find your hands can reach way past your feet. Yoga is a practice of breaking the fixations, the habits, the patterns, of opening up consciously and exploring the depth, what's possible, rather than simply only accepting what is. It's a beautiful dance between the two, acceptance for what is and the journey to possibility. Slowly rise up through seated, scooch forward, come all the way down. Happy baby pose. Hug your knees into your chest. Grab for your shins. Rock side to side. Anchor down your shoulders. Anchor down your tail. Grab your feet. Breath in. Stay for the exhale. Now, we didn't do a lot of back bends, so if you want to add one in now, you can. Knees together. Plant the feet flat on the mat, hip distance, and then separate the thighs. Bridge pose, shoulders wiggle in, elbows press down. Lift your heart. Press the back of the head into the mat, then lift your hips. Remember that even when you're doing the back bend, you're still looking for the length. Now, to gain the length of the spine, the shoulders are already down, so they can't help you. And the feet are already down, so they can't really help you either. So how do you find space between the thigh and the shoulder? You actually energetically drag the heel back. And what that will do is the hamstring will start moving the thigh bones forward. And as the thigh bones move forward, when you lift, you'll also gain space and length. Breath in. Exhale, slowly release. One more back bend. If you like to go into full wheel, now's your chance. Hands underneath shoulders. Inhale, come up, top of the head. Then start to straighten the arms. Now, when you get into your full wheel, do you have breathing room? If it's difficult to breathe, if you couldn't have a conversation, then you might want to readdress the pose. Can you move the spine? Can you do your little caterpillar, your little bit of snake? It's not big, but it's not nothing either. The ability to move the spine, to wiggle the hips, just lets you know you're not stuck. Full breath in. Exhale, slowly release. Let your feet come together and your knees go wide. One hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. Just taking a moment, 3 breaths, honoring all the space we've unlocked today. Fully in. Let it go. Inhale. Empty. Hug your knees into your chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Squeeze everything you got into a tight, tight ball. Breathe in. Exhale, final Shavasana. Let your body unfold. Let your body flow out. If you wear a wristwatch, wristband, loosen it up, take it off completely. Roll out your wrists, maybe massage out the wrists. If you wear your hair tied up in a ponytail, remove the ponytail, remove the headbands, massage out your scalp, everybody. A lot of times we hold tension in the eyes, in the temples, in the skin of the forehead, and in the jaw. Can you soften? Lift and lower the head. Now the movements become practically microscopic. Can you inchworm? Shoulders back, the head back. Tiny little waves. So I like to press the elbows down, drag the elbows forward to counter drag the spine and the shoulders back. And so just try to set your body as tall as humanly possible, laying down in this horizontal position. And then full body breath in. At the top, pause. What can you soften? What can you relax? Ride the wave of the exhale out. Fully in. Soften what you don't need in Shavasana, that's everything. Let the weight of the chest exhale for you. Let each breath be softer than the one it follows. Take a few moments in Shavasana to completely let go. Today we meditate on the free flow of energy. There are no straight lines in the universe, only the illusion of them. But when we magnify even light, we can see a laser forming what we think is a straight line, but when we get very close, we see that light moves in waves. Imagine the ocean with gentle rolling waves across the surface. It may appear as if water is moving, and to some very small degree it is. But if you were to put a bobber in the ocean and anchor it down, you would realize the bobber is not moving, left, right, forward, or back. Yet it is moving with the waves itself. And that even the molecules of water that surround it, they're not moving faster than the current. They're not moving at the speed of the waves you see. Only when the waves come to the beach, when they come to land, that's when you can see the water move. But out there in the open ocean, what you're seeing is energy, passing through the medium of water, oscillating and undulating through peaks and valleys. And so when we move our bodies like a caterpillar and like a snake, if you observe nature, you see this exact same movement, these two creatures and many, many, many more. The way a bird flaps its wings, little wave formations coming from the center of the bird out through the wings and back again. Everything is wiggling, everything is waving. So when we try to take a straight and narrow path, it becomes a cause of our own suffering. There is something unnatural about the attachment of determinism when gripped too tightly. In yoga, it says to practice with abhyas and vairagya, consistency and detachment. Because if you don't practice at all, nothing will happen. Yet if you're too attached, you might block yourself from being open to the very possibilities that can help you bring your dreams into fruition. And so this philosophy of life, abhyas and vairagya, practice with detachment. It's found not just in the great scheme, but in every minor detail too. In every pose, sthira sukha asanam means let the practice and the pose be steady and joyful. Too steady, you grip too tight. Too joyful, you become lackadaisical. Only you will understand the balance. Come away from the idea of cause and effect, but instead put awareness into your intention. And from time to time, let go cause and effect. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in it that the cause and effects become expectations that manifest themselves into reality. So everything has a time and place. Ideas like right and wrong, ideas like cause and effect, but what's most important is that you authentically connect back to your intention. What would you like to see for yourself? What would you like to see for the world? What are the thoughts, the habits, and the patterns that are blocking you? And the more you can give awareness to where you want to go, the more the opportunities will arise. So be consistent and persistent with the attention on your intention. Yet at the same time, be an open palm. A clenched fist leaves nothing to enter, yet it cannot hold on. Like grains of sand, it begins to slip out. But an open palm is ready to give, ready to receive. And so may your practice clear your mind, open your energy, and allow it to flow freely. Yet practice responsibly. Have an intention so that when your energy is moving, that what comes to your experience is something you're calling from within. It can be as simple as a single word that you breathe throughout the day, or taking the time to close your eyes and just see. See yourself already imbued with the energy of your practice, full of life, full of light, full of joy. Set your intention, then pay attention. Namaste.